Hi everybody, Beth here, and today I'm doing a video that will probably be rambly, but we'll roll with it. Talking about my West Coast region. I'm gonna be talking about the story, talking about the evil team, and the gym leaders and stuff, and basically kind of giving the story and stuff that would have been in a what if the West Coast was a Pokemon region kind of thing, minus the art and spectacular editing because A, I'm still very new at the editing part, and B, my tablet died, so I was not able to complete the art assets. And yeah, so so that happened, and yeah, so we're gonna just kind of go and do it vlog style, and I'm just gonna talk about what I've written, what kind of things I thought would be kind of cool, and so on and so forth, and yeah. So obviously that's a disclaimer about the video. Second disclaimer is I suck at pronunciation, so I apologize profusely if I super screw up a name and words and everything. And number three, I'm not a psychic. I do not know what Pokemon's plans are, so this is completely coincidental if they come out next gen, a United States West Coast inspired region. I had no idea. If it happens, if it doesn't happen, then I'm smooth sailing. But with that out of the way, let's get into the story and region itself. So the region itself, I would love to have the name of the region be based off of the Spanish word for tradition, which is Raigambri, which and that kind of plays into the themes and stuff that I would want in the story, which is kind of the idea of at what point does having traditions and focusing on traditions hold you back from moving into the future, and vice versa. How much going forward and moving on with your life compared to compared to just abandoning it and stuff. And yeah, so the player characters, their canon names would be Liam and Len. Uh, they are the children of the gym leader Gilroy and the gym leader Remy. Uh, so yeah, you're the kid of not one but two gym leaders in this region, and you got both your parents. So cool interactions and stuff like that. Plenty of story potential and fun adventures in the hypothetical Pokemon special version. I'd imagine they'd be twins, or in a Pokespecs version, it'd be like they're twins and stuff. But let's continue on. So you'd start your story. You're going to go to the professor and get your starter Pokemon and go on your journey right before start your training to take over one of the gyms. In the region and in like many of the other Pokemon regions in my universe or the Pokeverse or however you want to call it, the big thing is that traditionally the gyms are passed down to the family members, and very rarely do they go outside of the family line. Notable exceptions are if there's no offspring, and so basically the person who's running the gym kind of adopts someone or believes, hey, you're just like family, you're going to run the gym when I'm out of the picture, and so on and so forth. Or you happen to be Giovanni and you happen to be running in rather illegal endeavor, and you get caught and curb stomped by a 10-year-old. That's how you lose your gym. But that's kind of the thing that goes on with this region as well, is that it's very, very heavy tradition of it's passed on through the family and the family line and stuff like that. And obviously, with player character situation, since both their parents run two separate gyms, there's kind of that, which do you want to go with mom? Do you want to go with dad? Or whatever. And so mom and dad are both like, you can go on your Pokemon journey, come try and be the champion, explore the region, get to know everybody, so that way you can, if these are your future coworkers and stuff, get used and learn and see the world kind of stuff. And then after you go on your journey, you can start training and you'll, you know, go on and be the very best like no one ever was. So that's how that works. You go to the professor. Professor U is the name of the professor, Charlie U, and they will be there, and that's where you get to meet your starters and where you also get to meet your rivals. Blah, 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 your first rival is a young lady by the name of Holly, and she is a charming individual who makes a stellar first impression. Yeah. Holly is meant to kind of come across as a very stereotypical mean girl, mean valley girl kind of trope to an extent. Um, she's not happy with going on her Pokemon journey. She's got a chip on her shoulder, and she's itching for a fight. And if you're not careful, it may not be a Pokemon battle, but instead a fist fight. But well, we'll get into this. We'll get more into it. She's the mean rival, as as is common with Pokemon recently. You get the nice sweet one, and then you get the rude one. She's kind of meant to be the rude one, as it were. The nice one is Adrian. Adrian is a local celebrity in the region. He comes across as super aloof, kind of like Red, where he's very silent, and everybody's kind of like, oh, he's such a cool, mysterious trainer. He's so ooh kind of thing. Yeah, as with Holly, we'll get more into the story and more with certain things are not as always as they seem, as it were. But you meet with the professor, and they get you your starter. The starters would be I didn't come up with names for them, so the water type would be based off of a hawk and a sheriff, which is with its final evolution being a water flying type. The fire type is based off of the black stallion. The Cabo Diablo is the Charlie Daniels song that kind of inspired these two, the water and the fire starter. So like sheriff and outlaw, stallion or hawk kind of thing. And the final evolution is fire dark. And the grass type is based off of a fawn slash deer, and is also based off of a saloon owner, saloon gal, kind of a Miss Kitty inspiration, with its final evolution being grass fighting. Because if you've seen any Western, you know that while the saloon ladies and dainty, lovely ladies, they do know how to pack a punch when you're a little bit too rowdy. So those are the starters. And you pick your starter. Holly will take the starter strongest against yours, and Adrian will take the weakest one. Very explicit here. I do want to say that Holly does not see Adrian as a challenge. She will see you as the main challenge. You are her rival. No ifs, ands, or buts. You are not. You are the one who happens to be the child of two trainers, two gym leaders. Not happening. She's Her mission is to kick your butt. And yep. So there's that. So you get your starters, and before you can have your traditional rival battle slash tutorial battle, you hear some commotion, and you, professor, and your rivals run outside, and you see Team Rocket grunts, which little weird, and they're harassing people, and Professor U jumps into action, starts handling some of the grunts. Your rivals are kind of like, okay, I guess we gotta do this too, and you spot some grunts trying to harass your parents. So you try to come over and help because, you know, rocket ganging up on anybody is no fun. And so, you know, you get their attention. Rocket does, they're like, oh, you think you're so tough? Look at you, you little kid. Ooh, we're Team Rocket. And mysterious lady comes to the side. Part of me kind of wants her to do kind of a riff on the Team Rocket prepare for trouble monologue. Just kind of like a play off of that, just to kind of so Rocket just be like, wait, what you do? Who are you? Kind of thing. Because this lady is cutting herself in and is just like, oh, really? You idiots are on my turf. And this will be Alexandria. She is one of the Elite Four members. And she'll come in, she'll be like, all right, let's battle. And you will have a double battle with her as your teammate against some rocket grunts. And this is basically the tutorial. Your Pokemon and you are going to be the main ones doing most of the attacking. And Alexandria is going to be doing more of the stalling and making sure that your moves are boosted. And like every once in a while, we'll knock out one of the Pokemon because she's an Elite Four member, and these are Team Rocket grunts. So you win the battle, yay! Smiley face. And the grunts are like, oh crap! Tactical retreat. But Alexandria grabs one of them and she's like, I want you to give your message to your boss. This is Team Rapture's turf. And if I see another rocket grunt here, I'm gonna make sure that the message is a little bit more clear. And the ocean. Basically, she threatens them within an inch of their lives because this is Team Rapture's turf. And I shall throw the subtlety out the window. She is based heavily on the Vegas Mafia, the kind of pseudo stylized version and Hollywood version of the Mafia, in particular in Las Vegas. She's cool, suave, collected. She scares them off. She turns to you. She introduces herself. She's like, "Oh, I'm Alexandria." If there's like options, she doesn't really answer that much regarding Team Rapture, but she's just like, "Oh yes, morons, blah 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 blah." And you know, after the dust settles, Professor Youth comes over and he's like, "Oh, you did great. You're awesome." You know, kind of gives the last bit of like, "Okay, make sure you go to this gym first, blah 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 blah, and good luck filling out the Pokedex. I'm gonna go do my paperwork." And then it's also kind of revealed here that Charlie is the champion as well. And he, as a professor, he studies type variants and typings. Why do certain Pokemon get certain typings? You know, why are there so many of this typings when there's none of this typing, and so on and so forth. And yeah, they balance it with being the the Pokemon champion. And around town, it's kind of just like, oh yeah, they're cool, woohoo, awesome, yeah. And like, if you meet a couple of tourists, they're like, it's really weird that the professor is also the champion. How do they balance it? Or wow, this is so cool. I'm just glad it's not Cynthia in that stupid card shop. You know, random NPC babble. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Um, so with that, you head on to the first gym, which is your dad's, Gilroy, who is based off of a park slash forest ranger. He is the grass fire gym leader. I mean, he's excited. He saw you battle. He's happy dad. He's like, oh, you guys. He's having a bit of a moment because it's like, oh, his little baby, his baby child. growing up, and he's like, ah, but it's all good. And so you challenge him, and on his team, his signature Pokemon is a Sandalette, and out of the other 5 Pokemon, appropriate scaling, but he will have it'll pull, or basically the idea would be, I have 6 Pokemon there, or 6 Pokemon that the team would pull from, aside from the signature Pokemon. And that's kind of how it goes, basically. And then after you would go and, post game and stuff, you can battle them again, and then they'll have all these Pokemon on their team, and so on and so forth. Moving on. So on Gilroy's team, he will have a Sandalette, which is a signature Pokemon, a Lurantis, a Maractus, a Ludicolo, a Cradily, and a Camerupt. And yay, everything's happy, woo, party, party. You defeat him, you get your badge. Dad does embarrassing dad stuff. He's happy for you. He's excited to see where you go, and he directs you to the relatively new gym that's acting as the second gym, which is based heavily on its real world counterpart, Alcatraz / Pier 39. So, Alcatraz, for those who do not know, was formerly a prison island. Many famous gangsters and mafia members lived on that island, and it has really interesting history and stuff. Nobody ever escaped from there except for, I mean, I say technically they escaped, but they don't know what happened to them. They just kind of often disappeared. They don't know if there was like 3 individuals who managed to escape, but they don't know whether they like escaped through freedom or escaped and drowned, and so on and so forth. It's fascinating history. Google is your friend. Yeah. Back to the story. So you go down there, you go to the museum, and you walk in, and you see a redhead sitting at the info desk, reading a book, looking absolutely done with himself, and nobody else really around. So you go up to him and you're like, "Hey, I'm taking the gym challenge. Are you the gym leader?" Guy lowers himself, stares at you through his glass, and he's like, "The gym leader is not here. He is off doing whatever. Leave me alone." And pulls up. You go, relatively rude. So you try again. He lowers it and he's like, "Okay, I'm not the gym leader. I don't have the authority or ability, even if I wasn't on probation. But whatever." And he explains, "No, really, the gym leader is out surfing or he's doing whatever. I can't do anything. You'll have to come back later." When you hear echoing through some of the halls, "Maxie! Help me! I'm stuck!" And you just see utmost disgust, irritation. The why on earth am I stuck on probation with that guy? And it's revealed that this is Maxie from Hoenn. Yes, after the events of Hoenn in this universe, he and Archie are on probation in this region, having to work community service and helping in the museum / gym. And Archie managed to get himself stuck somehow, somewhere, but we'll get to that in a second. So Maxie looks at you and he's like, "Get the moron out of whatever he's stuck in. I'll call the gym leader because I'm gonna have to call him about this anyways, and then he can decide whether or not he'll give you a badge or whatever." And so you're like, "Okay, sweet." So you go up, you find that Archie has accidentally locked himself in solitary confinement, and you got to go find a key. So you battle a couple trainers, you find the key, you rescue Archie, and you guys make your way back to the front of the desk, where here comes the gym leader, a man by the name of Diego. And he's getting the story of what happened. He's like, okay, I got you. And you meet him. He introduces himself, and he's like, dude, this is awesome. Thank you so much for helping out. It's just so weird. I leave for 5 minutes, and this stuff happens. You'd figure they'd be better behaved. And it's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I can't actually battle you right now because I was out surfing all day with my buddies and my Pokemon are wiped. But, I got a great idea. How about instead you battle these two in a double battle and you beat them and I'll get you your badge. And so that's the gym. That's the gym leader battle. You will battle Maxie and Archie, who will have a Sharpedo and Camera Up, respectively. And they'll also have their Acrobat or Mightyena. But basically, 4 Pokemon you battle through, you'll beat them, you'll get your badge, and he'll be like, dude, awesome. Diego's, he's like, yeah, he's cool, dude. Seems to be hiding a little something because you'll never actually find out Diego's team until post game. You won't actually battle him till post game, in which it will be revealed that he is the Steel Dragon type gym leader, using a Naganadel, Haxorus, Turtonator, Copperaja, Mawile, and Excadrill on his team. That's not the only secret he's got. But back to the regular scheduled programming of the story. So you continue on your merry way, you go to the next gym. You go to the next gym, which is run by Crash, and he's based on like parkour, stunt work, the American Ninja Warrior kind of scene, and he's normal and flying. His team will have a Skarmory as a special Pokemon, a Corviknight, Xatu, Heliolisk, Snorlax, and Braviary. Woo! And that kind of stuff. You'll battle him, you'll win. You'll probably have like some snippets and some hinting that you'll be meeting the evil team, a couple of grunts. You'll be introduced to this character named Frankie, and rival battle and stuff, and we'll continue. So that kind of stuff, little hints of like the plot and stuff, and introductions of more characters and stuff. And then you go on your merry way, and you meet the next gym leader, Windstar, who is based off of Hollywood and film studios. And as where dreams are made and broken, it is the Fairy Dark Gym. Windstar will have a Dedenne as his special Pokemon, a Mimikyu, Scrafty, Grimmsnarl, and an Umbreon on his team. And this also kind of acts as the pseudo Pokestar studio, so if you partake in that kind of stuff, yay, and stuff like that. Now we get to your mom's gym. Remy. Remy is based off of the mining railway work and the mining railway histories, the railroad baron's daughter and stuff like that. Those kind of tropes and stuff. But regardless, it's your mom. You gotta go battle your mom. And she is the rock poison type gym leader. On her team, her signature Pokemon is a Salazzle, a region specific Pokemon that is based off of the mining canaries, a Roserade, a Dusk Lycanroc, a Tyrantrum, and a Mascargo. Mascargo? The Flame Snail. That's what she has. And the Poison Canary, just gonna give a little tidbit of history. Back in the mining days, obviously going down deep in the caves, in the mines was kind of dangerous because eventually you ran out of oxygen and you died. So what they'd do is they'd have a canary. And the bird would be very sensitive to the oxygen levels, and once it was starting to like get sick and stuff, they realized, okay, we're running out of oxygen, up we go. And that's kind of how that worked. And yep, I don't believe I named Pokemon, but we'll find out in a second. The only two ideas that I had in regarding for naming the canary Pokemon was Donary or Bellary, which were plays on the belladonna plant, which is poisonous. So that's kind of how that worked out. So you defeat Remy. She's super proud of you. She's like, my baby child is growing up. I'm so proud of you. You know, you might really have a chance to become a champion. I, yay, kind of thing. No, really proud, very good, happy fam, happy fam. So this is where we get to a we get to have another encounter with the evil team, and you see them. Excuse me. You see them bugging Adrian, and Adrian isn't looking as cool and mysterious as he was when you first met him, and it looks more like he's having trouble just trying to get a word in edgewise and being really awkward. You come in, you battle the grunts, they leave, and Adrian thanks you and admits that he's actually not as cool as one would think. He's shy. He's got very awkward social skills, and he doesn't feel comfortable with who he is, and he feels like he has a lot of pressure on him. Self-imposed, but there's a lot of pressure that he wants to do well and make his big bro proud. So yeah, battle with Adrian, kind of get him to like, hey, just that'll perk you right back up, right? Right. I mean, that's usually how it plays out in regular games. So there's that. So you know, you go on and you continue on your journey, and you come across the next gym. But before you can get in, you see Dean, one of the admins for the evil team, and he's he starts off sounding very calm, very cool, very collected, very sweet, in trying to get the maid to listen to him and to be swayed onto his side, come join the team, let him go into the gym itself. The maid's like, no, sir, I can't let you go in right now. She's the gym leader is in the middle of a seance. I can't. She is in the middle of communicating. It's not proper for her to be interrupted. And you kind of see the admin, Dean, lose his temper. And you eventually cut in. He notices you and he's like, hey, you trying to start something? He's dropping, he's not happy and he's ready for a battle. So you battle him. And from his team, his signature Pokemon is a Morpeko, and he will have on his team an Ampharos, a Alolan Raichu, a Zoroark, Liepard, and a Banette. And you battle him and you kick his butt. And he's not thrilled. He's like, what are you trying? Really? I'm the guy. I'm the one in the right here. And he argues. It's like you're letting this dump or whatever. He's basically implying that people are holding on to the past too much, and you need to get rid of it in order to look forward to the future. And he's going to try and fight you again with or without his Pokemon or a sharp, pointy object. I'll leave up to the viewers to decide. But thankfully, the gym leader steps in and she's like, I heard you talking shit. You ready to go? And he's like, I'm going to get in trouble for this, so I'm going to leave. And he up and runs. The gym leader comes in. She introduces herself as Jade. She's like, I'm sorry you had to see that. You must be Remy and Gilroy's kid. I'm delighted to meet you. All the gym leaders have been talking with each other. Remy and Gilroy have just been over the moon and being like, look at my baby! And excited for everything, so yeah, welcome. Let's go head over to the gym. She dismisses the maid and she leads you into the gym. Um, Jane is my reference to the Winchester Mystery House and its owner, Sarah Winchester. And yeah, uh, and she'll go in and she'll talk about, well, as she's going through and walking you to the gym, she kind of explains a little bit of what's going on and kind of what she's been having to deal with regarding Dean and the members of the evil team. This evil team is very focused on trying to get rid of stuff of the past and things that remind people of the past so that they could theoretically focus on the future, move on, and stuff like that. And while there are some good points that they have, they're kind of going to a very, very big extreme. And, you know, she alludes that there might be something between the admins and one of the gym leaders, basically something along the lines of, for as much as they talk about wanting to move on from the past, they seem to be very dragged down by the very thing they want to destroy, or something like that. Basically, I want this to be like cool ghost grandma. Is she cool? You make it to the gym or the battle area, and you battle her. Her signature Pokemon would be another regional Pokemon that is based off of seances, very spooky, very kind of like ghost psychic crystal balls and hands and floating and spookiness and nice, cool, spooky stuff. She'll also have a Chandelure, a Trevenant, a Gothitile, Meowstic, and an Espeon. And that's pretty much kind of her thing. Once you battle her, she's like, wow, you're really good. I appreciate this. You haven't had this much fun in a while. And she lets you out and she's like, oh, by the way, I think it would be a very important I think you should go to this place. I need you to head to this location for me. And she doesn't really explain why, but it's supposed to be heavily implied that she's seen something, so she's like, I'm gonna try and get you to help out with that, because there's something's gonna go down and it ain't gonna go down good. So you go to this place, which I imagine would be kind of like a historical site, and you see a bunch of grunts. You see the evil team grunts. You see your rivals, and they're just like trying to, stop what's going on. You see Dean, and you see another admin, Billy, and you rush up. Dean recognizes you, and he's like, "You, I'm a fight you. I'm a fight you hard." Billy is like, "Shut up. Get the stuff ready that needs to get done. Get rid of this place. I'll handle the kid because clearly you couldn't." And so you battle Billy, and Billy's team is a Crabominable, which is her signature Pokemon, an Aegislash, a Sandslash, a Houndoom, a Duraludon, and a Frostlass. And you battle her. You manage to beat her. She's like, what? This was not how that was supposed to go. And you and your rivals are able to kind of fight back a little bit, but then the evil team, Team Poplex, managed to destroy the site. Now, granted, you managed to delay them long enough that they were that, you know, police officers and some guy and individuals claiming to be from the international police arrive, and they're able to save what they can. They're able to arrest a good chunk of the grunts and stuff, but you you succeeded, but you also failed. And this kind of scene would have some character development for your rivals, because especially as Adrian realizes that in the chaos and the destruction of the site, the jacket that he wore got caught in the flames and is no more. And it turns out that was his brother's coat. And Adrian reveals and kind of talks about how when he his brother was supposed to go on his journey, his league journey, and become and kind of train for a while, when the gym leaders, his parents, passed away suddenly, like, and he stepped away from being a trainer and is like, no, I gotta I gotta run the gym, and I gotta keep an eye on my brother and stuff. And so Adrian's main motivation is like, I want to not waste this opportunity, because my brother has done so much for me. You know, I gotta do this for him. Do it for my brother, kind of thing. Whereas, and Holly's just like, but you're not your brother. And it's kind of revealed with her that her relationship with her sister is pretty much the opposite of Adrian and his brother. She Holly's always been compared to her sister, and while she's a really good trainer, she's bitter about the fact that because her sister's successful, people expect her to be pretty much the exact same. And this is kind of a turning point for both of them, where Adrian kind of realizes he can kind of stand on his own 2 feet and start making the process to become realizing that he, being who he is will make his brother proud. And Holly kind of realizes, like, yeah, people are gonna be comparing her to her sister, but it's like she doesn't have to play into that and stuff, and so on and so forth. I think I missed a couple of key story beats that would kind of pace this out a little bit more, but we're already at almost 40 minutes, so I'm going to try and wrap it up a little bit faster. So you go to the next gym. Brody, he's based off of startups and Silicon Valley. His typing is Electric Bug. His Vigavolt is his signature Pokemon. He has Galvantula, Pachirisu, Rotom in a variety of different forms. You know, Wheel of Rotom, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the form. We're gonna fight in the gym leader battle today. Glossopod, and a Heracross. Um, you battle him. You learn a little bit more about kind of the backstory regarding Team Poplex's leader Michael, and kind of the connection that he has with Alexandria, and kind of where things are kind of weird here, but it happens. And you kind of get a little bit more information. You kind of get hints that what the plans are for it, but you're like, okay, I'm not sure if I get a lot of information. And you get a message from James, because I imagine you'd be able to get. I mean, you're basically this is all basically a big family party, so I'm sure you'd be able to get messages from the gym leaders and stuff. You get a message from Jane, who directs you to be like, hey, can you check on? Can you head to this? Can you head to the 8th gym for me real quick? Or you know next be you get like a cryptic message along the lines of, hey, stock up on your potions, or hey, the wind, it's really brisk or whatever at blah 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 blah. Make sure you carry extra potions and stuff because you're gonna the mini gauntlet here. So you go to the next gym, which is based off of Ashland's theater scene. The big Oregon Shakespeare Festival takes place in Ashland and stuff, and this is kind of the heavy inspiration for this gym area. And along with our very hipster inspired gym leader, Frankie. Over the course of the story, you'll meet him a couple of times. Kind of, there's some subtle hints that he knows he's heavily connected to Team Poplux to an extent. You see a couple of grunts be like, "Hey, Frankie, do you want to join our team? It would be really great." Blah 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 blah. And he'd give like a cryptid thanks but no thanks, and then like walk off, and the grunts would be like, "I can't believe he said no, but he's so cute." So that his gym is ice fighting, and you do find out that this is Adrian's older brother, and so you battle him. He will have a regional variant of Lucario as a special Pokemon, a Beartic, a Pangoro, a Beware, a Frostmoth, and a Mineshow as his signature Pokemon, or as his Pokemon team, not a signature. Signature is the regional Lucario, which is ice fighting. Um, in that. So you battle him. He's like, "Well, I'm impressed. Very nice. Cool. Nice." He starts to walk you out when Billy and Dean show up, and they're like, and Adrian and Frankie's like, "Why are you guys here? I've told you guys I'm not joining. I've refused to join the team, and I've heard from the grapevine that you tried to blow my brother up, which not cool, bro." And you get a little bit, and some reveals happen. Turns out that Adrian's brother, is Frankie, and you also find out that while Billy and Dean believe that Frankie left because he was pressured into doing the traditions and stuff, because of the traditions of like the family has to take the gym, he felt like he had to leave and not become a trainer, and they were going to go on their training journey together, and he was basically the one that held the brain cell, the single brain cell all three of them shared, but and stuff. And Frankie's like, "No, I left because I had to because I needed to take care of my family. Family comes first." And I had to give up being a trainer, but it's like, who was going to run the gym? No one was going to run the gym, and I needed to make sure that my brother was okay and stuff. So, you know, Billy and it's revealed like they had a fight, and that's kind of what broke the friendship up first, when it first happened, and he was like, he first was like, "Yeah, I've got to go. I'm not going to go on my journey. I got to go run the gym." And they're mad at him because it basically looked like he gave up, and he's mad at them for like, "Why would you think I gave up? I have to take care of my family. I love my family, and family comes first. Ohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind." No parentheses there and stuff. So you end up having to double battle Billy and Dean with Frankie, and you defeat them. It's tough battle and stuff, and it's just like Dean's he's not fully swayed and doesn't and he only partially sees where Frankie's coming from, and he's still kind of mad. Billy's just like, "We're gonna battle again, because how dare," and stuff. And eventually you are able to pull from the two that Michael's planning to summon a legendary and destroy something. See, this is the part where I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll figure out this part of the plot, when I get to it, when I get to drawing it and like illustrating it and stuff, because I was like, oh yeah, the basic gist of the idea would be that you'd have to go to wherever the legendary is. Michael awakens the legendary, and the legendary is like, bitch, please, and tries to destroy Michael. You step in and rescue Michael, and save the day and stuff, and do the capture and hero stuff. Michael realizes, okay, I went a little too far. No bueno, no bueno, and willingly lets himself get arrested. And you'd also get the reveal that Diego is actually an international police officer undercover, because basically what happens is like after the battle, you save the day. Alexandria's like, I'll take care of my former employee Michael. I'm gonna make sure he's sleeping with the wish cast and the magic carp. And Diego's like, actually, no, you're not, because I know exactly what you're planning, Miss Alexandria. And Alexandria's just like, and who are you supposed to be, Surfer Boy? And he's like, I'm Agent Charmer of the International Police. We all know that you're running an evil team organization, but since you're not doing anything technically illegal right now, we're not gonna. You let the guy go, and let me arrest him, and I'll pretend that you're not doing a whole bunch of illegal shit going down. And she's like, well, when you make an offer like that, how could I refuse? And so there's that. So there's that reveal. Um, and so that's, admittedly, yes, I didn't really do much planning in the ending regarding evil teens, uh, evil team idea, but that's what happens when your tablet dies and you put your planning over on that side. So, anyways, let's skip to the Elite Four. Yay, you come down and you get the Elite Four. Alexandria is based off of the Vegas Mafia and the Hollywoodized versions of the Mafia. On her team, she'll have an Absol, a Alolan Persian, Serena, the plant from Alola, who'll kick you, a Hatterene, a Honchkrow, and a Malamar. Another member of the Elite Four is Holly's sister, Cherry. Cherry is very much based on the Valley Girl tropes, very bubbly, cute, like totally. Like when you meet her outside of gym battles and stuff and kind of intermingling in town, she'll have a Wigglytuff and Granbull on her side, so she feels like she is a fairy type. Like Ope will be looking at her like, girl, you need to dial back the pink. But you think, oh yeah, she cute, she girly, I'll just sweep her with a I'll sweep her, it'll be fine. And then she comes out and, she talks to you and she's like, oh, thank you so much for, helping my sister get comfortable with who she is. Thank you for helping out and saving the region and stuff. I'm totally sorry, I'm gonna have to kick your teeth in. Or something very, very cute and bubbly, but when you actually say it out loud, it's like, wait, what did you say? And then she summons forth her Pokemon. One of them being one of two pseudo legendaries. The pseudo legendary in particular would be based off of Fairy Tail Dragons and his Dragon Fury. That is her signature Pokemon. She'll also have a Garchomp, Hydreigon, Dragion, a Tyranitar, and an Altaria on our team. And the Elite Four will all use Mega Evolutions and stuff. Well, with the exception of one, but I'll get to him in a moment. So, yeah, Elite Four, with the exception of one, will all use Mega Evolutions and stuff. And Cherry has, She has a team that is very much the opposite of her fashion sense. Maybe quite sure whether or not she's as scary as Cynthia. If I made her right, I'll leave it up to you guys. So we're gonna get to the guy who is the odd man out when it comes to mega evolutions. Duke. He's based off the surfer dude tropes, and you'll like with the Elite Four and stuff, you'll be able to mingle with them and meet them outside of the battle and kind of talk to them and stuff, and meet them over the course of the story. And you'll learn that Duke was originally from, well, he's moved all over the place, but in particular, when he was going to start his journey, he wasn't able to join in time for Galar, and he instead went and trained under Mustard and was able to complete the task before he had to move again. And so he will have an Urshi feel of the Rapid Strike style. Is it technically cheating if it's a legendary? Perhaps, but this is the Elite Four, and frankly, it works for Duke. On his team, he will also have a Float Sail, a Lapras, Araquanid, Toxapex, and a Mantine, and a Caracosta. Basically, a lot of surfing Pokemon for him, alongside Kung Fu Bear, Rapid Strike style. But yeah. And then finally, our last member of the Elite Four is Elias, who is very heavily based off of Walt Disney and the theme parks that reside in California. On his team, he'll have an Alolan Ninetales, a Mr. Rhyme, Goodra, the Dragonite, uh, regional variant version of Schmeargle, which takes more of a rubber hose aesthetic to him, and a Grumpig. Yay! And then, last but not least, you'll face the champion, Charlie Yu, the Pokemon professor. He'll talk to you and how he's proud of how far you come. You know, you did great. I'm super excited for this battle, and let's give it everything we got. He'll have the other pseudo legendary, which is a ghost normal cat based Pokemon based off of Schrodinger's cat, and a mountain lion with a little bit of Cheshire catness, cat biz, whatever. He'll have a Gengar on his team, a Bibarel, Empoleon, Crocodile, and Aurorus, basically with the champion slash professor. All of the Pokemon are, as of this video, as of June 11th, 2021, unique typings. So, yeah. And then you defeat him and become champion. Yay! Awesome! And then, like, the only post-game, or two post-game things that I had thought of that were going to be later when, you know, I worked on that, was going to be, one was going to be Alexandria requests your help in dealing with a rocket situation in the region she's originally from, which is basically the next door region, which is based off of Reno and Nevada, or mainly based off of Nevada, and you battle through essentially what is a battle casino to get rid of the rocket grunts and stuff, and the rocket admins and whatever, and that's how you unlock battle casinos and such. And then the other one that that wasn't really fully fleshed out, but was gonna tie into like how the other Poke timeline of mine was gonna work, was basically you'd find out, or you'd get heavy hints to something that happened during the events of Hoenn and how Diego got his the Ultra Beast that he has, and you get to meet Loker, and there's like some hints of some like greater timeline, you know, greater effects down the line, and the ending thing regarding the games would be you'd you battle your rivals one last time, and Holly would contact you, and she'd be like, "Hey, I'm leaving the region to go train and make my own way into the world and stuff." And then you get to the airport, and then there's this cute little scene, regardless of whether you pick the male or the female character. I'm pointing that out, where like she's like, "Thank you, you were really obnoxious. You're still kind of obnoxious, but you're a good friend, and don't get into too much trouble before I get back, because next time I'm gonna beat you." And then she gives you a little peck, little kiss, and then she goes to catch her flight, and Adrian's standing there kind of awkwardly like, "Oh, I didn't know she knew the stuff that like Gallus people do. Weird." Poor Adrian, he's just like, "Okay, this is weird. She just kissed you. Okay." And that's basically the little nod that I have to the anime, where Serena gets to first base with Dash right before she leaves. And that's pretty much the summation of my West Coast region. Um, yeah, if you made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh yeah, I should probably mention some Pokemon. So, in a little bit, in semi more detail, I guess. Uh, so the regional variants, Ryu and Lucario would be ice fighting. Pikachu would gain the regional evolution of Goruchu, which would be electric fire. But they would get a special ability that would allow them to get dark type moves with stab bonus to dark type moves. Rotom would get a tablet form, which would take steel typing. Not entirely sure why I picked steel typing, but I guess hey, let's add something for the Rotoms to battle with. And then Smeargle would get a Fairy Dark variant that is a more Muttley kind of style, or in a more rubber hose cartoon style kind of thing. Starters: water flying, fire dark, grass fighting. The legendary, I was thinking having it be a Ghost Tark based off of Dark Watchers, or Los Vigilantes Oscuros. Hopefully I said that right. And basically the name would have play on the Spanish word for twilight, that I'm gonna try to pronounce. And then the pseudo legendaries, one would be based off of Schrodinger's cat. The name that I kind of gave the final evolution was a Ghoulynx. And then the other one would be based off of the Jabberwocky and classic fairy tale dragons. Lunar Snatch is what I gave the final evolution its name for. And then the other key big ones that I kind of mentioned while I was talking during the story. A Psychic Ghost one would be based off of seances and crystal balls. The poison-based Canary Pokemon, which kind of played with the Belladonna plant as its name, but that's pretty much it. So that's the region. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around and watching it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to support the channel, support me on my Patreon I have a Patreon and I have my Ko-fi down below if you want to do that. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for sticking with it and watching it. Leave your comments, opinions, thoughts down below, and have a wonderful rest of the day, and have a great day. Bye!